Well, the culminating event of this year's World Championships will take place in the Valley of the Temples, which is down in Agrigento, based on the ancient city of Akragas, which dates back over 600 years BC. The professional road race championship of the world, and as you can see, the American team lining up on the start line there because Lance Armstrong was the winner last year and has the opportunity to start first. These riders here will face 19 laps of a very tough, grueling course, and really the people have turned out to see this, which is regarded as the ultimate event of the whole 2 weeks of the cycling championships. It's an extremely tough course there. You can see they have to climb up to the top of the Col de la Victoria, going past the Temple of Junon. In fact, this is an early attack going here by the Colombian Raul Montana. Montana built up quite a lead at one time, over 2.5 minutes. Very brave move, which was destined to failure. So early casualties too. George Hincapie, a very young 21-year-old American professional. Very early wheel puncture there, but that's quickly changed and he'll soon be on his way again. But the temperature over the last few days here has been astronomical, in the range of 43 degrees Celsius, and it does really look almost like a desert out there. You can see that first move there by Montana has come to naught, and in fact he's been gobbled up by the rest of the main field. A little bit later in the day there was another move went clear here, about 13-14 riders moving clear at the moment. This looks very much to me as if this might be Gianluca Bortolami, recent winner of the Leeds International Classic, the 7th round of the World Cup, and also the winner of the Zurich Grand Prix. And look at that, there's no reaction from the main field, who are at the moment trying to regroup after some severe attacks which happened, and it's always on that climb up there of the Col de la Victoria. Very tough climb. Here we go. There's confirmation that Bortolami is in the lead group, but there are 12 or 13 riders here. Looks very much to me as this Colombian here also might be Alvaro Mejia. This is Jan Navens, the Belgian, at the front as well. This group working very well together. There are 1 or 2 dangerous riders in here, and as always, the French and the Italians ever present. Just on the far side there, you can see they're going to have to take the hairpin bend to the right, and they will have to start the climb once more. The American team doing a great job here. You can see the damage that's being done by this breakaway, but this is Frankie Andreu from the United States here. The Americans doing a great job for Lance Armstrong. This is Armstrong in 4th position here. This man, who was regarded something as a surprise when he took the title last year in Oslo, has been riding like a leader today. The American team really have rallied around him. Really has been a tough day so far for the riders, with temperatures really not as hot as they have been over the last few days, but it's around about 37, 38 degrees C, and you can see this break here is doomed to failure. I think there's going to be a general regrouping very soon. This looks like it may well be Rolf Sorensen at the front there, the Danish rider. Been in the head of affairs since this morning. Once again we get a chance to look at the beauty, the local beauty from Agrigento here. This is the remains of the Temple of Juno. This is Steve Bauer, Canadian. Bauer took the silver medal in the 1984 Olympics, turned professional a couple of days later, and then took the bronze medal in the World Professional Road Race Champion, a man who's been around for many years. But what's this at the back? This looks very much to me like Gianluca Bortolami's had a little bit of a problem. In fact, the team cars are coming by, and he's got a teammate there, an Italian teammate, that is Gianni Farazin. And report coming to me over the race radio, in fact, that they have been involved in a crash, and they're trailing something like 1.5 minutes behind the main field at the moment. And look at the pressure. The field really has been splintering up over this last couple of laps. Pressure being put on at the front here at the moment by Pietro Ugramov, the Latvian rider, the only Latvian professional in the race today, the man who finished 2nd to Miguel Indurain in the Tour de France earlier this season. Number 99 at the back there, Richard Virenque, the man who finished 5th in the Tour. A lot of pressure being put on, you know, and the race really is starting to splinter. Luc Leblanc going through the picture there. This looks like Casagrande, number 4. Look at this. The field really has split up. 4 hours and 53 minutes these riders have been in the saddle so far. The Spanish rider at the front there will be Cubino. The Australian coming through is Scott Sunderland. There has been an awful lot of splitting up in the main field. I can see the bald head of Barney Rice going through there. There's a little bit of a group coming across here. 5 laps to go is being signalled there. Lance Armstrong, always, as always, shadowed by the Italians. I thought I saw Maurizio Fondriest in there. Look at this. The riders really are all over the place. In fact, Claudio Chiappucci there with the silver helmet on at the back, he's missed out a little bit. And look further down at the bottom of this climb, the whole field was together, and this really shows you the amount of damage that was done by that attack by Pietro Ugrimov. Well, that's a very sad move there for Laurent Madouas as we climb up this mountain for the 18th time, because this small col has become a mountain to these riders now. Madouas had a problem with his bike there, and I don't think he's going to get back up to the 2 leaders, who are Rolf Sorensen of Denmark and Massimo Girotto of Italy. That's a sad blow for the French, because that would have been a good move, because we would have had a Frenchman, an Italian and a Dane in the front. There is a major problem with Madouas's bike there, and I don't think it's a simple puncture. It may well be some kind of technical problem. There's the rest of the group. A little bit further back, up the road there, we can see Massimo Girotto in the blue jersey of Italy. What a fantastic player this man has been. Strangely enough, this is almost a repeat of the breakaway these 2 riders had together on the stage of the Tour of Italy this year, when in fact Sorensen, who's regarded as the fastest sprinter, was outwitted by the older, more intelligent sprinter Massimo Girotto. You see the heat here. Sorensen, in fact, has cut holes in the side of his jersey. It really is hot down here, but there's a counter-attack behind. This is Armstrong, the defending champion, doing what he does best, and that's attacking. He's trying to get across to the 2 leaders, looking over his shoulder to see if there's a reaction from behind. He really has got the gap now, but there are 2 riders in front. That's Sorensen from Denmark, Massimo Girotto, and all the time is marked. I think this is Luc Leblanc coming across. The Frenchman won't be too happy about the fact that Madouas had that technical problem. There we get a chance to see the gap. Sorensen looking very concentrated here on the wheel of Girotto. Girotto is a tough domestique, one of the best in the business. There's confirmation of the 2 riders in this group at the moment. It really is hot. It's hard to imagine how hot it's been out here. This is a chase group a little bit further down. This is the man that the French regard as their favourite, Armand de las Cuevas, number 88, a man expected to do well in the heat. Laudelino Cubino of Spain. Barney Rice trying to get back into contention there as well. Another stage winner of the Tour de France this year. Let's get a look at the distance here. Now there you've got a group of 4 riders forming behind the 2 leaders. There at the front is Luc Leblanc, shadowed by Lance Armstrong, the outgoing world champion. Claudio Chiappucci was in there as well. Armstrong starting to suffer a little bit on the Frenchman's wheel. There's a Russian. I think that will be Dmitry Konishev, silver medalist in the World Championships a couple of years ago, just behind, in fact, Greg LeMond. These are the men doing the damage at the front. This is Massimo Girotto looking over his shoulder, trying to see what the face of Rolf Sorensen will say, but in fact he may well have been looking to see the return of Luc Leblanc, the little Frenchman here. What a fantastic return that has been. The French and the Italians really have been fighting it out all day. This hasn't been a World Championships, this has been a France-Italy match. There we get a chance to look back down the road there. In fact, it's only about 7 or 8 seconds to the first group of 3 or 4 riders there. You can see Armstrong, Chiappucci, and in fact Richard Virenque has come up to join Dmitry Konishev. We have 4 chasers, 3 men in the lead. The gap between them is 8 seconds, and there's another gap about 15 seconds further back down the road. Chiappucci's the man putting the pressure on at the moment. Armstrong suffering. Look at that. There's about a length between Chiappucci and Armstrong. But what a ride this man has been doing. The man that they said was a fluke. He only won the World Championships in Oslo because nobody marked him. He's still here today, fighting it out with the best in the world. Well, there's about half a lap to go. They still have 3 leaders. Sorensen managed to get back into contention there with Girotto and Luc Leblanc, but Armstrong doesn't want this title to escape him. He's putting the pressure on every time he can. He puts the hammer down. There's only 5 seconds. They can almost reach out and touch those 3 leaders, you know, and it's going to be quite possible that it'll all come back together before the final climb up to the line here. Sorensen. Always today, Sorensen's been attacking. He's been looking for the move, trying to get a little bit of a lead away from the others, but always Girotto has been attentive. Luc Leblanc, a little word to him, says, look, you're not going anywhere. Leave it to us. We'll work together. We stand more chance of staying clear. I wonder what's going through Armstrong's mind at the moment now. You know, only 3 riders in history have done the double at the World Championships, and one of those was Gianni Bugno just a couple of years ago. In fact, before Armstrong took the title last year. He's not getting a lot of help from the other riders in this group here. Chiappucci must be thinking about the chances of Massimo Garotto. This, at the moment, is a very tactical game, and it's really up to Armstrong to do the business. Konishev at the front here, setting the pace a little bit. The two riders at the back, Claudio Chiappucci, who has a teammate in the front, and also Richard Virenque. He'll be hoping that it all comes back together at the bottom of the final climb so that he can launch an attack, because whilst he has his teammate in the front, he has no obligation to work behind. Chiappucci has been the #1 favourite for the Italians. He must be itching for this all to come back together, because he too would dearly love to attack on that final climb. What a championships this has been. One of the most beautiful circuits I've seen in many years, but also probably one of the toughest. As we look back down there, we can just see the gap. It is so close, but it will not come back together. You know, after 250 kilometres, just 3 or 4 seconds is almost impossible to close. And again, Sorensen goes. He really has tried all day today. Sorensen, every chance he's got. But look at this, Leblanc is attentive. Luc Leblanc, the man who out-sprinted Miguel Indurain at the top of that superb climb above Lourdes to Hautacam this year in the Tour de France. He really is riding excellent today. And you know, Armstrong had a press conference just a couple of days before the Tour de France, and he said, I'll give you 2 names for this World Championships. One is Luc Leblanc and the other is Richard Virenque. And you know, neither of those 2 riders are going to be very far. In fact, the Garotto's going to go for it now. Oh, this is getting nervous at the moment. They know that the other 4 riders are breathing down their necks. They've got to keep clear to the bottom of this climb. Then they've got a chance of taking the gold medal. It is so important, you know, to a rider to get the world title. It will boost a rider's earnings by 3 or 4-fold in the year. Garotto, not a great winner, you know. He's had some good wins this year. He won a stage race for the first time in his career, but this is the chasing group behind, and Armstrong must be thinking now, if I can just get back up to these guys before the final climb, I've got a chance of making the double. Konishev pushes him a little bit, saying, come on, you can do it, you can close the gap. Armstrong being intelligent, trying to get some of the other riders to contribute a little bit to the work here. In 3rd place, Richard Virenque, the little French climber. He too won a stage of the Tour de France, and Armstrong's gone. He decided that was the time. He waited for a moment's hesitation by the others. He went to the back and he's launched an attack. He realises now's the time to go. You know, those 3 riders have been at the front now for over a lap, 7 or 8 kilometres, and Armstrong knows to get back into contention for this medal, he really has to make, but Chiappucci doesn't want him to go. El Diavolo, the devil, the man that everybody in Italy loves, the man they would dearly love to see take this gold medal today, doesn't want Armstrong going anywhere either. And there's Virenque, and they close down on Armstrong, who's not a happy man. But I think, you know, it may well have been just enough, that final attack, to bring it all back together. We can just look a little bit further up the road, and there they are. It's all over, you know. There's 7 riders back together at the front. And the gold medal of the World Professional Road Race Championships, the final event of this 2 weeks here in Sicily, is going to go to one of these 7 men. 2 Frenchmen, Luc Leblanc, Richard Virenque. 2 Italians, but the man on his own, in fact Rolf Sorensen is trying for it, but Armstrong's not letting anybody go now. As I was saying, the 2 Frenchmen, 2 Italians, 1 Russian, 1 American and 1 Dane. And you know, really the Italians and the French have got to try the tactical manoeuvres on this final climb. They must be very worried though about Konishev. You know, Konishev is a superb sprinter. Didn't ride the Tour de France this year. His team, the Jolly team, which is based in Monaco, weren't selected. Now is the time that if the Italians are going to do it, they're going to have to work together. On the final slopes of this climb now, and Chiappucci really does want to go. And Sorensen, it's Sorensen again. Every time there's a slowing down, Rolf Sorensen from Denmark, the man who won a stage this year in the Tour de France ahead of Neil Stevens from Australia, has decided to go. And they're all looking at each other. This is dangerous, you know. This is the last time when they really should be more attentive. They cannot let him get more than 4 or 5 seconds clear, because, you know, at this stage in the game, it becomes a waiting game. Everybody will be looking to watch the other rider to close that gap. And this could be the first World Professional Road Race Championships for Rolf Sorensen. Look at the gap. He must have 7 or 8 seconds already, and it's Chiappucci. Chiappucci won't want to do all the work because he's worried about Konishev. He's worried about the counter-attack that could come from Lance Armstrong from the United States. It's got to be the French. They have to move. There are 2 Frenchmen and 2 Italians. The work is to be up to them. Sorensen looks to be suffering here, you know, but when you're going for gold, you don't feel that little bit of pain. Chiappucci puts the pressure on. Shadowed, you see, by the Russian. Oh, it's getting hard now for Sorensen. There's got about 2 kilometers to go to the finish. He's got to get up to the top of this climb here, the Col della Vittoria. You can see the temple just in the background. When he gets into the streets of the town here, the road kicks up to about 15%, and that's where it really hurts. Konishev looks good. Konishev in second position in the new Russian jersey there, the yellow stripe down his shorts from the Jolly team. Claudio Chiappucci always putting the pressure on, but not too much, because he's being attentive. He doesn't want to close it down too quickly. He's waiting for somebody else to react, and you know this is very dangerous because nobody wants to be the one to sacrifice himself. Really, it's the job of Massimo Girotto to come to the front. You know, he's the one who should close it down for Chiappucci. Chiappucci was the leader this morning for the Italians. 8 seconds lead is the confirmation we're getting at the moment for Rolf Sorensen, and he's going away from this group. 8 seconds, and you know he really could pull this one off. What a fantastic move. Look there, and there's been a reaction behind. There's been a reaction behind. Somebody's trying to come across to Sorensen, and I think it may well be that that was Massimo Girotto. In fact, it wasn't. It was Luc Leblanc and Massimo Girotto, and they've come across in no time at all. Look at this. Luc Leblanc has put the pressure on. He goes by Sorensen. He just looks over his shoulders to see what kind of a face he's got, and he realizes that Sorensen is now a spent force. The man he has to look to is Massimo Girotto. Girotto covering him. He has to do this because the man, the number one man for Italy, has got to be Claudio Chiappucci. Luc Leblanc and Massimo Girotto now are turning into the toughest part of the course. This is the hardest climb in the World Championships now. They're going for gold. They're about 1.5 kilometers from the finish. 15%. Look at the pressure. You can almost feel the tension. Sorensen trying to get back into consideration there, trying to get back into contention. Leblanc suffering. He's at the front. He's putting the pressure on. Girotto looks very easy there at the moment. You know, if Leblanc can't get rid of him. What's this though? He looks over his shoulder. They're both looking over their shoulder. They're worried about Sorensen coming back. Leblanc looks to Girotto. Come through, we can stay clear, we can get the title, we'll sprint it out together. What's going through his mind at the moment, you know, it is so dangerous to go to a two-man sprint because anything can happen. You can make the slightest error and throw it all away. Look at the face on Leblanc, he really is going for it now. Girotto suffering but knows for Italy he has to stay in contention. Leblanc picks up the pressure, picks up the pace. Oh, there's a bit of a blow there for Girotto. He looks to me like he's suffering quite a bit, and Leblanc may have got him. You know, there's an Italian supporter throwing water onto Girotto. That might wake him up a little bit, but Leblanc's got him. Girotto's cracked. Girotto has cracked, and Leblanc is going away to a lone lead in the World Championships. Luc Leblanc from France, the man who this year won a stage of the Tour de France at the top of the Hautacam mountain outside of Lourdes, has got Girotto. Girotto has cracked. Luc Leblanc has just got to hold on now. He's got 4 or 5 seconds lead over the big, tall Italian. Can he hold on? This will be an incredible victory. This will be the best victory that this man has ever had in his life. Number 93 for France, Luc Leblanc is riding away with it. There is Girotto. He's really blown away from it all now. The hopes of Italy on his shoulders. Well, it looks to me very much as if Claudio Chiappucci has blown the race today, because this man at the front here, Luc Leblanc, the little Frenchman, is walking away with it. This is going to be the French's first victory in 14 years if he can just hold on to the line. You know, he's got round about 1 kilometre to go. That's going to be the longest kilometre of his life. He doesn't look to me like he's cracking a superb ride. The French have ridden brilliantly today. He really has to keep going. There's another chance to look down there. And in fact, it looks very much as if Girotto had been caught by Claudio Chiappucci and Richard Virenque. Well, we're about 700 metres to go now, you know. Looks very much as if the victory is going to go to Luc Leblanc. Girotto looks over his shoulder. There's a return there by Richard Virenque in second place, and Claudio Chiappucci. They've got a chance now. If Leblanc can crack a little bit at the front, it may well be that El Diavolo can get back to him. Girotto's spent. He's given everything he's got. He looks over to see how Chiappucci is, but we come into the finishing straight now. Listen to the crowd. They want an Italian to win. They don't realise that Luc Leblanc is going to come down this finishing straight alone. He throws his hat away. He realises he's got it. Look at the joy. This is the best victory this man could ever have hoped for. The best victory of his whole career. He is really going to be a new man once he puts on that tunic, the rainbow jersey, the most beautiful jersey in the world of professional cycling. Luc Leblanc knows he's got it. He takes the hands off the handlebars, he crosses himself, and there gives France their first victory in 14 years. What a superb move by this Frenchman. The French have ridden a superb tactical race today. They outwitted the Italians on home territory. Fantastic ride by Luke. Sprint for the line here. It looks very much as if Claudio Chiappucci's going to get it, but Virenque's pushing him to the line. You know, it may well be. No, it's going to be Chiappucci. Chiappucci will take the silver medal. He won't be happy with that. Ahead of Richard Virenque. Fourth goes to Girotto. Fifth coming over the line now is Konishev. But this is joy in the French camp. Luc Leblanc has got it. Sorensen comes over the line for sixth place. What a fantastic ride by Sorensen today. He attacked so many times. Outgoing world champion coming over now. Seventh place for Lance Armstrong. You can't complain about that. Laudalino Cabino comes in next. There's confirmation. The best man in the world this year, Luc Leblanc from France, takes the title 11 seconds ahead of Claudio Chiappucci. And Richard Virenque from France will take